48 hours before a primary, 5,000 phones rang, and none of them should have. 2 days before New Hampshire went to vote in January 2024, thousands of phones started ringing with a familiar voice on the other end, warm, presidential, telling voters to save their vote, not to bother turning out for the primary, that their vote would matter more in November instead. It was not the president. It was a cloned voice built with artificial intelligence, wearing his cadence like a costume, and it reached an estimated 5,000 New Hampshire households in the final stretch before people actually went to cast a ballot. Here's what makes this one worse than a simple prank call. The people behind it didn't just fake a voice. They spoofed the caller identification too, so the call appeared to be coming from a real, recognizable source, a local political figure whose number voters might actually trust enough to pick up. Layer 1, a convincing voice. Layer 2, a convincing source. Both fake, both stacked deliberately. Both aimed at exactly the moment when a single day's turnout can swing an entire primary. The man behind it was a political consultant, and once investigators traced the calls back, the regulator responsible proposed a $6 million fine against him personally, plus a further $2 million against the telecommunications company that carried the calls through spoofed numbers without doing the basic checks that might have caught it. That telecom company ultimately agreed to pay a 7-figure penalty and accept considerably stricter oversight on what gets allowed through its network going forward. Criminal charges followed as well. Sit with the actual economics of this for a second, because it's the genuinely unsettling part. This wasn't a nation-state cyber operation with a budget line and a team of specialists. Cloning a recognizable voice convincingly enough to fool ordinary people on a phone call is now cheap enough and accessible enough that a single individual with a grudge and a plan could apparently attempt to interfere with a democratic election almost on their own. Barrier to entry for convincingly impersonate a public figure at scale didn't just lower, it fell through the floor. And notice what this attack didn't need. No hacking, no stolen data, no sophisticated infrastructure, just an existing, publicly available amount of a real person's recorded voice, which, if you're a sitting president, or frankly any public figure who's ever given a speech, is not exactly in short supply. The fines were real, and they mattered, because they established something courts and regulators badly needed on the record, that generating a fake voice to interfere with an election is not a gray area, not an amusing use of new technology, and not something you can hide behind caller ID spoofing to get away with. But fines happen after the fact. The calls had already gone out. The voters who were told to stay home had already heard it, in a voice they had every reason in the world to trust. But that's the part no penalty afterward can fully undo. You can find the deception, you cannot unring 5,000 phones,